in my Discord, I asked, which army should I focus on in 2026? I listed out all of the armies that I had, where I had at least 12 units that I wanted to actually work on, one per month for the whole year. And of all of the options, Votann and Drukhari tied. So in January, I plan on doing one unit of each of the Leagues of Votann and the Drukhari in an attempt to find out which of the two I will more enjoy to paint, one unit per month for the rest of the year. So my final video for January will be one unit of Hearthkin Warriors and one unit of Kabbalite Warriors. And that will give me a solid color scheme, basing strategy, and decide which of the two I will spend for the other 11 units. As you can see, I have more Drukhari units than I do my Votann, but overall, both armies have a color scheme in mind, and quite a little bit to work on, yeah? My Votann is not currently at 2,000 points, but that shouldn't be that hard to increase once I get a second Hekaton Land Fortress and another unit of Jaegers. Whereas for my Drukhari, I have 5 boats, 3 Venoms, 3 full units of Scourges. I do have a 4th unit box for weapon options, and tons of other models. So either way, I have a solid start to either of these armies. So the first part of this challenge for myself will be I have to build these models. I can't paint them if they're not built. So, is it going to be Leagues of Votann or Drukhari for the rest of this year? First, I have to get these things built. And then I can go from there. So, the Leagues of Votann Hearthkin Warriors are 10 models of basic troops, 3 sprues, and nice and dense in what's on the sprue. Nice high definition sculpts and everything. And the Drukhari have much more open sprues, being that these are from 2002. But they also shouldn't take as long to paint, and they still have moderately decent detail. So I need to get the Hearthkin and the Kabbalites built up. Well, it took me 4 days, but I've built my Hearthkin warriors and my Kabalite warriors, and from building, I think I enjoy the Hearthkin more. They are much better designed. I mean, it's a much newer kit, and I can actually have the arms in subassembly, whereas the Kabalites, I really needed to glue them all together because otherwise the arms aren't going to line up properly. And we'll see how that affects the painting. Um, I will be able to get better detail in the chest area on the Hearthkin. Hopefully, the paint scheme I have in mind for the Kabalites is not affected by the weapons already being there. We'll see. I did a Zenithal Prime on my Leagues of Votann, but I did not on the Kabalites because for the color scheme I have in mind, I don't know if a Zenithal would actually be a good thing for the Kabalites. So we will see if the Zenithal is helpful over here, and we'll see if the lack of Zenithal is something I need to change going forward with my Drukhari. So, yep, day 6, and I still don't have any painting done. End of day 7. Votann, still don't have anything going on with them, but I think I have an idea for their basing. And I have one test model for Drukhari. Not the neatest, but gives a good representation of what I'm looking for. So now I just need to paint up the other 9 and figure out their bases. But, not a bad day. The first one always takes the longest and is the messiest. So, yeah, we have a color scheme. It's the end of day 8, and I have a single model for each of the armies as a color test. Um, Between these two, I really like the vibrancy of the Votann, but it took me about twice as long to paint the Votann as the Drukhari. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. Um, the first one always takes a little bit longer because you're testing out the different schemes and everything. So now I just need to paint the 9 more Drukhari and 9 more Votann and see where that goes. It's Sunday night, and my Votann are coming along fairly well. The Drukhari are still about the same distance in, and tomorrow I think, I don't know, maybe I'll keep on working on the Votann. I still have the gray and the white and a few other things to do. Yeah, it It's actually quite a lot to try to get 2 full units painted with new color schemes in a single week. Or month. But I have a week left. We'll see. I need to think about the bases as well. I still haven't even given them much beyond consideration. I haven't actually worked on any of them yet. But 1 week left. Let's see what these look like. End of the day Monday. And the Leagues of Votann models are ready for a wash. Everything else is painted. Now, I think tomorrow I will get these guys to the same level of completion. And then I need to work on the bases. But at least I have one squad ready for basing and a wash. As I work towards completion on my Kabalite warriors, I realize I think because Kabalites can be used with my Eldari, I'm going to do the same basic basing with the Dark Earth. I'm going to change out the tuft color to better match the Kabalites, but I am also going to continue to place them on 28mm bases because going 25 is quite close to overflowing. This is a 28-inch, or yeah, 28mm. So I think I will keep the basing size, even though they're currently still listed as 25s. I like that extra little bit of not overhang that a 25 would be. And I think I'm going to go with a slightly lighter color tuft. But I think that that color is going to look good with this model. So, yeah, that's almost my next step for them. And my Votann over here just need a wash, and then I need to do all of their base work. So, this is Thursday night, and there's not much left to be done, but it also is going to take some time, so I should get back to that. And there we have it. A unit of Drukhari Kabalite warriors, and a unit of Leagues of Votann Hearthkin warriors. So, with both of these units completed, what have I decided going forward for the rest of the year? Well, I gave the Leagues of Votann the ease of build, and I gave the Drukhari slightly easier paint scheme, although not too much easier with the lines and everything. But when it came to the basing and it looking like glue and having that nice gleam, I had to go with this theme. It's gonna be Leagues of Votann going forward. DOA, Drukhari, or Evangelion Votann, it has to be the Evangelion. So, here we go. Leagues of Votann 1. Can't wait until the next
month, and I have to decide if I'm going to do one of 3 units. So, I don't know which unit it is for February, but you'll find out. But it's definitely going to be Leagues of Votann for the rest of the year. Because even though I enjoyed the Drukhari, I can just toss these with my Eldari and run them like that right now. But the Votann, they just look so much cooler, and I gotta go with them. So that's what I chose. What do you think? I think they're gonna look really cool on the tabletop.
Subscribe if you haven't so that you don't miss any future videos. I also want to thank my patrons and supporters for making these videos possible. And until next time, I hope you find your bit of bliss.